Hi friend, it's Pat Sloan here. So I'm taping this before the Virginia Quilt Museum event. So it is Monday, and later on this week I will talk about the event when I do a video that's after it happened. All right, so today I'm going to be working on the dogs. Filming a little bit, showing you my progress, and then I have some other things because it is also Pumpkin Day, and I have some cross-stitch stuff I want to show you. The Fat Quarter Shop sent me some of their new projects that they're doing to share with you, and so I'm going to do that first. They sent don't you love these boxes? They have the pretty boxes. These are so great. So if you need like to store projects, these are awesome because they're pretty. They're not, you know, pink. I think they have blue and turquoise. Anyway, they have a whole series of cross stitch here. I'm going to show you. This is fall. They're little banners, and they're 8 by 19, so they're pretty long. They also come with the thread kits and the floss biddies there to wrap your threads on. So these are fun. They're not too complex, and I really like them. I think they're really a neat idea. They've done a whole bunch of them. Okay, I've also got, they sent along their Stitchy Stars pattern, and I believe what they do is just, it's like the same pattern with different thread colors for the different seasons. I believe that's how it's working. They also have this custom thread holder. Look at that. But the fall one then gives you on the back side the colors that you need. So it's got all that together. I don't think that, let me just see if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it's just a one sheet. So this is just like a conversion sheet, so that you use this pattern and then use the fall colors in it. Thinking, all into fall now. Okay, the next one is their ornament patterns that are done in the little pie tins. Look at this. These are so stinking cute. So they've got the little pie tins, and I did the one. Do you remember I did the one? And it is done, I think over a smaller, I think I did it. I mean, it's over a smaller size. There's the little pie tins. A little smaller size cloth than I usually like to work on, but it wasn't that bad. And I don't know, maybe I'd have to do another one because these are super cute. Now I did the pie for this in the summer one. There they have the pie colors, but look at the acorn. Oh my goodness. Whoops, my finger's right on it. Sorry about that. The acorn right there. There's the acorn, and they're just, look, and I love the little tray. They put them all in there like this with the fall bows, the little gingham bows on them. They're just so darling. What else is in there? Pine cone, a little pumpkin, a little honey or jam or something. Oh my goodness. And they also have a thread kit. So if you want to have all the threads already picked out so that you can just sit down and stitch these. And then there's also these little guys to wrap the cross stitch around. They actually have a little bit of batting under it, and then you wrap it. And Kimberly Jolly at the Fat Quarter Shop has a video doing that, and then they go in the little pie tins. There's one more. Oh, there's some cloth. This is they sent me some cloth also. So these are the cloth, and I'll have a link in my website and the description box underneath the video here. But also the first of the 2 parts for the Quilted Witch is out. So for the cross stitch is out now. There are PDFs and printed copies, so you can go either way. So those of you who don't want to have it mailed can get a PDF copy. There is the Quilted Witch, the quilt, and it looks pretty much like this, and I'm doing a little bit smaller version without the witch as a option for people who want to make just a fall version without the quilt witch. I know this, but it looks so cute. I put extra pumpkins in it and the stars to fill up that space, but then I shortened it and made it a little bit smaller, not quite as wide, and a little bit shorter as well. Now I will show you all that when the pattern for the quilt is ready, which should be fairly soon. So I have to get a project page up, but I already have my whole layout done for, I just have to, I have a little like a hack, or a version that's smaller that shows you what to put here instead. And that will be all on my website. Probably, I think all that is probably coming next week. So I will have it ready for when the Fat Quarter Shop releases it. So those are all super fun. Okay, my goal is to work on this. That way, I want to get this sewn. I'm going to do a couple of video clips and then we'll do the pumpkin afterwards. Yeah, I might have to show you a pumpkin part first, because actually I need to still cut all those pumpkins out so that I can make the little ones. The bigger one, you know, I don't have a problem with. That's kind of done. I'm just showing it to you. But the smaller ones, the little minis, I haven't cut anything yet. So what I need to do is cut some of that now so that I can sew it in whenever I need. I don't have a piece up here to sew, which I have to stop and go and press. I can put a pumpkin piece through as like an ender and work on it like that. So let's do that. Let's go on the other side and cut out a couple of pumpkins. Woo. I don't know about the pumpkins. I might just be overthinking this. I don't usually do that. But the deal is, you can see, you know, remember I just have a black and white version, but you can see the pumpkins are solids, there's stripes, and there's checkerboards. And the thing is, the pattern has you take the pumpkin fabric, and the first thing you do is cut out all those parts, so that you cut out strips and the solid pieces and the little squares to make the checkerboard. Now, what's happened is I did the first one with my fabric, and it's very white. And now I'm looking at some fabrics that are much more cream. And so this is where I think I'm overthinking it. I think I'm overthinking. So I've got this bundle, and I thought, well, let me just pull what, not that one, too much pattern. Pull what I would work with. Let's see. Okay, so that one has too much pattern. I don't want the pumpkins to have that much pattern. So these ones will all, I don't think I want the pumpkin to have the words either. I want the pumpkins to stay more, you know, solid. So I've got, let's see here. So I've got them in these prints, which I think is good. All that's good. And then there's actually a tone on tone. I mean, a white on white kind of, but they're cream. These are cream. So when I put these, see, when I put them next to my white pumpkin, so like that one I won't use. And here I've got, I'm not going to, for background. So these will be background instead, you know, like in addition to that darker, I would now use these. And I'm not going to use this one because it has like deer. See, it has like deer. I don't know. I'm not feeling the deer. But I do like the words because it has spice and harvest and all that kind of stuff on it. So, you know, I don't know that I want to have my white mixed up with these checkerboards. So maybe I'll just have the white, one white pumpkin and a couple others with white. Ooh. Or I could just make all new ones with the creams and not use this one, use it for the back for a label. I could do that and not use that one at all. Just use these guys and some of the other, you know, oranges that I pulled, because I pulled the mushrooms. Move this guy over here. Got the mushrooms, and because I don't really need as many white fabrics, so I could just go with this grouping, maybe if I need to add more. So how many pumpkins am I dealing with here? What have I forgotten already? If I'm going to make this, it's like 4, 8, so it's like 16 pumpkins. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, there's 11, 12, 13, 14. So I'm a little light. Okay, I'm way overthinking. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to go and cut some of these up. I'm not going to worry about this pumpkin for right now. I'm just going to switch over to these little bit creamier ones and use these fabrics and maybe use this one as a label. That's the fabric line name, Pumpkin Blossom, by my friend Joanna Figueroa. It's a little bit older line, but her oranges tend to look the same, you know, similar colors year to year. So I got 2 more. Here's the from the group. I've got 2 more. There's the plus signs, and so I think those will work in there well for the pumpkins. And there'll be 2. I'll cut 2 sets from each of the cream fabrics. So I've got all these cream fabrics, 2 sets, and then all the oranges, I just have to cut one duplicate or go and see if I had any more scraps of this. And then I sort of switch away from the more white pumpkin. I don't know, he might be able to make a coaster. Might be able to do something like that with him. I don't know if I had any more of that orange. I have to look for that. Why, yes, I do have more of this orange. I forgot, that's the one I had a lot of. And so I'll toss this one into the mix over here. And now I can do one of each of these. This will be, I think, a coaster, you know, or a mug rug kind of thing. Well, I thought I'd better lay out the oranges so that I know which ones to cut, because they are, you know, they are different sizes. There's, you know, there's short, tall, and so I just lay them out. Now I know. I can just do these in that order. Oh, I gotta take a picture. I thought you might find it interesting. This is pretty much all that I'm cutting out from. This is like a fat eighth, so it's just a small section. It's like 3, 4.5 tall. So here's a long piece, the medium piece, the 4 squares, 1, 2, 3, 4, the 2 little squares, and then this is the trash from that cut, you know, that I don't use. So this will go in the trash bin, and then all of this is what's being used, and here is how I'm laying it out so that I have each of the ones that need a stem. So this board will be all the ones that have a stem, and then I'll do the other board with just, with a leaf. These are all that have a leaf, and I'll do the other board with only a stem. This is a leaf and a stem. So there we go. So all the orange is cut, the stems are cut, the leaves, and now I can just sew these parts while I'm working on the wiener dog. And then these are the 8 lights that I'll use, the white pumpkins, the 8, you know, it's just a little off white, so I'm happy with that. So I'll have to be cutting all these next, but I'm going to go ahead and start taking the dog down, because I'll have to show you by the end of the video the other pumpkin, the main pumpkin, because we're on row 3 of that. So I'm ready to go to the other side. So here is my, not very much orangey fabric. It's just really this group here, and then everything I was just using, which are not, you know, a lot of big pieces. But you know, I don't really need a lot of big pieces of orange. This is pretty good. I'm pretty happy. It's like the amount of time I go looking for orange, I mostly can find what I'm looking for, or I'm sort of buying a collection that has fall things or oranges in them, and I'm using from that collection, and then I'm not having to go really into stash for it. Over on this side is peach, more kind of peach tones. So that's all. Oops, there's one extra that I didn't use. These ones I didn't use. So let me get those in there and put it away, and then start on the strips. So I'm using the top of the sewing machine. I had them up here because I was working on something else, and they were kind of my start and ends. But now that this is the primary thing for these strips, I'll put them on the side of the table. That way I have more control, you know, like I don't accidentally do, whoops, well, you can't even see them, can you? There we go. So I'll put them over here so I can really, you know, see what I'm doing. And I'll get the rest of the ones off the wall and get this last set done. The other thing with starting and stopping the strips is sewing on the stems here. So I need to take all of the little squares. So I took all the little squares, and they are one on either side of this leaf. So they would be like here and here on the leaf. And then I'll be doing, you know, sewing a stem to it. And I can do all of this part kind of as I'm working on the strips. But I'll put on the small board because I don't really need all this other stuff right now. So I have the screen door open while I've been cutting all that stuff, and now working on this because it has just gone to that little edge where it is beautiful out. It's not too hot. I can leave the screen door open. It is just gorgeous. I went and got some refreshments. I'm trying today the apple spice. They're one of their fall drinks. They have on Thursdays at Starbucks. This month, just this month on Thursdays, if you buy one fall drink, you get one free. So I got one for my friend. I called her and I'm like, I'm bringing you a drink. So that was fun. So look at this. Look at this one piece I had to show you. Isn't that cool? Love it. Love it, love it. So I am just going to town here, going ahead and getting these guys stitched. It's not too much more. Then I'll be putting the long ones on, and I'll pop back and show you pinning that. So I have, here we go. Is this the right side? No, that's the left. Okay, so I have the row done. There we go. Yay! And I will get a strip and pin it on here in a second. But first, the mail came while I was filming this. So I've got this really cute little tin from Faith in North Carolina with some goodies in here. Beautiful scarf. I love the scarves made of this material. It's kind of a little, they're very light. They're a little bit gauzy, very light. And I love it. Love it. Red, red, everything red. And then the other thing she sent is, are you ready? It's a shark pillow. Look at this. A pillow. It's a pin cushion, shark pin cushion. It's that pattern from the American Patchwork and Quilting magazine. Isn't this darling? And they felt, the fin is felt. I have one of these forever, Faith. Thank you. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Oh my goodness. I am so spoiled. You are so nice. It's such sweet mail. Okay, another thing before I forget is our ambassador Barbara found this. There's a free pattern from my buddy Bev McCulloch over at the Fat Quarter Shop. A link is below and at my website. Look at this pumpkin. It's so cute. It is 24 by 24. Yes, do you know what that means? Door. I'm going to do one for the door, for the front door. Yes, that's so cute with a fall leaf in the middle. Okay, that's on the list now, my ever-growing list. I am going to do, where am I at? Okay, so I'm going to do this strip on the top and just get it pinned on there. Let's see what we got here. And when I'm doing the pinning like this, I am generally, I'm not religious about it, but I'm pretty much am. Is I will pin a little bit in on one side, and I've measured it already to be sure that I didn't funk up the sewing, didn't get too funky, didn't like do weird seams. But then I pin a few there, and then I go to the other end and pin in. That way I can kind of then hold it. So that this is a long length, so it's like putting borders on. It's a long length, and I would just want to be sure it's flat, and so I'm doing several pins here. And then I've got this section in the middle, so I can lay it flat here. Yes, it's laying very nice. Very nice. And if you have one that you're maybe like easing in a little bit, like I consider the seams like maybe the one that, okay, might have a little easing that needs to happen on sometimes, put that on the bottom. There's a phrase that goes bob, big on the bottom. If you think the bottom needs a little bit of help to keep it straight to the top, then put the big piece on the bottom. Now the only time I don't really like to do that is if there's points I'm trying to deal with, but no points here. So the top and bottom are on for the third row, which then looks like this. And so what I am going to do is just work on this, finish up all the center, add side borders, and add that green around it, and then I'll come back and wrap up the video. And here she is. So I have it all done. I put a 2.5 inch strip on each side. That is extra from the pattern. And then I took the jelly rolls, what were left. I used the green because there was plenty of green and it had some really cute animal ones on it. And so I just finished it out like that. I will take a picture out on the clothesline and put it on my website for today, so you'll be able to go and see that. Also, this is, here we go, this is the last row for my pumpkins. Ah, so sweet. I am loving this color pumpkin, this kind of peachy orange. Oh, so cute. Whoops. And here they all are. So next week I will get all these rows. I will have all the rows together and show you, because I am using the pattern that came with the Jolly Bar, the one that many of you bought, and you bought them all out. And this is also what I have for the giveaway, so if you didn't enter that, be sure you do. And a lot of you are sewing this pumpkin pattern along with me this week, or this month rather. So I'm sewing this month, which is the larger version of the minis that I'm doing. And many of you are just sewing other pumpkin patterns that you have owned for a while and you never got around to making. So it's been really, really fun this month to focus on pumpkins. Okay, my friend, there you go. Doggy time. Done. So I love you. Mwah. Thank you for being here in the Sloan Zone, making wiener dogs with me. I'll see you online.